Jet 342.
And you accept yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And W6NQI. Morning,
Good morning, Dave. Boy, killer signals today.
Yeah, we'll see how long it lasts. I don't know if that was you tuning up, but killer carrier.
I just keyed when I jabbered. But I saw, looking over on KPH, and I saw, man, somebody's 20 over. Yeah, I saw there's a couple. Alrighty, well, I've been finally pulled off some more QSOs on 630 meters.
All right, well, good for you.
That's cool.
Well, I don't know if I'll ever pull that off or not. I just got so many irons in the fire right now. I mean, that's the radio and everything's set up. I just gotta mess with the antenna. But too much going on right now.
Yeah, I hear you. We get started on these projects when we're at a lull in activity, and then, oh yeah, this could be fun finishing this up, and then, yeah, something else pops in, and we're really not even that concerned over it, but alrighty, that's the deal. Retired and too much time. Alright, standing by for the rest of the gang.
WA7YBS is also standing by.
Good morning, Henry. So is it Chuck or Carla this morning?
Yeah, Chuck is net control today. Yeah, I was wondering what other than Andy and what 630 meter stations have you worked? I listened last night and I heard a big carrier on about 475 or so, but that was it. So who'd you work?
Yeah, just Andy a couple more times, and then I finally got a one of those little whisper transmitters, and I got it set up after I had the antenna working quite a bit better, and I said, let me give that a shot. And yeah, with just the 200 milliwatts into a 1% efficient antenna, I'm still getting hits in New Mexico, Oregon, Washington. Pretty surprising.
Yeah, it's antenna efficiency down there is like, it's hard to get anything that works really well. Yeah, it's surprising. But a lot of those NDBs, they're a little bit lower in frequency, but still, a lot of those are running 25 watts. And you can hear them 1,000 miles away pretty easy if the conditions are good. So, anyway, very good on 630. And, I'll have to set up something in the shop. Yeah, so, temperature is always a limiting factor. And of course, it's always at night, and it's always in the winter when medium wave is good. So there you go. Anyway, very good. WA7YBS will be standing by.
Morning, guys. Hey, here with EWC. Just here listening.
Morning, Chuck.
Well, so far, I've got the three of you there. Ron, I got you in the one spot in U6F. Dave is in the 2 spot, W6MQI, and Henry's in the 3 spot, WA7YDS. And is there anybody else out there? I want to check in just a minute or two early. Come back.
W6 SSP.
Good morning, Steve. Got a real nice signal this morning. Real nice. Nice, clear, and crisp. I got you in the number 4 spot, sir. Is there a number 5 out there? I want to check in a minute or two early. Come on. Okay. Well, might as well go ahead and get started. I'll check through stragglers at the end of the first round. We'll see how it goes from there. But good morning, fellas. And this is Chuck, K0DWC, and I'm your net control this morning on 3974 KC. Vintage Military Radio Net's a roundtable AM net that provides an opportunity for licensed hands to operate their vintage military radio gear in the air. Military gear is encouraged, but certainly not required. Check-ins will be given a number that can be used in the handoff, and I'll call the check-in at the end of the qualitative session. Anyone has anything for sale or want, please mention it during your turn in the roundtable session. So, one more time, is there number 5 out there? Vintage Military Radio Net, come now. Okay, Bill, I got you. Copied you that time. Q5, N6BCT, in the number 5 spot, Bill. There are number 6 out there. Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. So let me run down the list one more time. Number 1's Ron, U6F. Number 2 is Dave, W6MQI. Number 3 is Henry, WA7YDS. And 4 spot Steve, W6SSP. And in the 5 spot is Bill, N6BCT. Well, good morning again. And we're running the ART-13, 250 watts carrier. And listening on the R45, ARR7. Conditions seem to be really good so far this morning. I heard Dave make a comment about it. I agree with him. I don't know how long it'll last. I hope it lasts the whole round for the net, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, listening on an amplified D104, speaking on an amplified D104 microphone. And listening through an LS3 speaker, cheating a little bit with the AR-97. So anyway, with that being said, we will go up to the top, over to Reno, to Ron, NU6F, and group caser of DWC. Sounding good, Ron. Go ahead.
Okay, let's take a look here and see if I got the audio set. That's a little bit low on this mic. Anyhow, good deal, guys. Good copy on all, like we said, and we'll see how it holds out. Run, Lemon Valley, just north of Reno, and using the ART-13 Zenith 150 watts carrier, and listening on the R319A. And the antenna right now is the long wire, testing 1, 2, 3. And now the antenna is over on the loop. And I consistently see less QSB on the loop, a little bit less gain, except working another vertical antenna, and then this shows a lot stronger if the other station's vertical. And back over to the long wire. All right, so much for that. Take it away, Dave. W6MQI and U6F.
All right, NU6F, W6MQI. Well, I think it was a draw, at least today. between the loop and the long wire there, Ron. At first I thought maybe the loop was better, but then, I don't know, it kind of went, we got a lot of QSP today, so it's hard to tell. Anyway, good morning, everybody. This is Dave at Livermore. All signals are sounding good. Chuck, you're sounding good today in the ART-13. Same with Ron and Henry, loud as usual. And good morning to Steve. And we're on the ART-13 as well today, listening on the 7584 receiver. Watching them. I'm actually listening on the SCR too. Well, not listening, I'm watching it. Looks like, boy, I'm hammering it. But anyway, it's 40 degrees here, 60 degrees in the shack. And I got the little space heater on, it's gone up to 52, so got my beanie on, warm up my head. But anyway, over to Henry, WA7YBS, W6MQI.
Okay. Got to do a little tweaking and peeking. And, okay. That looks okay. Good morning. Ron, Dave, Steve, Bill, Chuck. Yeah, good signals. Bill had a killer signal. Very good. Of course, it may not last, but anyway, it's really good right now. Steve also had a very strong signal. Dave, Ron, I noticed that the long wire was better, but hey, you know, I'm 40 miles away, 50 miles away, so it's you know, maybe different quite a ways further out, but it wasn't a lot. Looking at the carrier level meter, which is in microamps, there was a 20 microamp difference with favoring the long wire. That's not a lot. That's probably like you know, an S unit or so. Anyway, that was the antenna results here. Well, we're on the Collins 22V3, and we're running probably 115 watts or so. And the military connection is to the Royal Army, the Raycam RA-17L in the proper silver hammer tone military cabinet for the RA-17L. And we're using a fairly newly acquired, well, not fairly new, it is newly acquired. I got it last week. Johnson Johnson kilowatt matchbox. Got another one. And this one was in not too bad a shape. It certainly had not had any dust taken out of it in at least the last 50 years. It needed a thorough cleaning. But anyway, it only needed a few little things done to it. And here it is, matching the collinear array to the 32V3, and hopefully doing a okay job. The temperature was 28 this morning, so it's a little cloudy right now. So that's the weather. Over to Steve, W6SSP, WA7YBS.
Okay, thank you, Henry. And good morning, everybody. Just scanning the meters here. Everything looks good. As compared to last week when part of the antenna was down. Ron, I noticed a slight improvement on the long wire, but just slight. There was hardly anything to speak of. So another data point for you. Anyway, this is Steve, W6SSP, just north of Santa Rosa, running the Collins 75A1 receiver and 32V1 transmitter, 85 watts out into a dipole, roughly 30 feet up, D104 unamplified microphone. Usual stuff. Anyway, it's about 40 degrees here, a little warmer than it has been the past few days, which is nice. Hope the sun comes out. We've had overcast weather now for many days. It'd be nice to see the sun for a change. So maybe it's better than Half Moon Day. Over to you, Bill. N6BCT, W6SSP. Anyway, and then everything else going here. That was quite right. I finally got the row working, so I can hear everybody really fine. So that's the story there. My tell you, I'm up and down. Anyway, so that's the story here. So back over to net control. I'm just driving about Denver, which was 74. Okay, Bill, N6BCT. Yeah, you sound pretty good, but you took just a tad bit of a fade there at the end, but I got 99% of everything you were saying. So, Carl said she even heard him in the kitchen. So, Bill, you're doing something there good, my friend. Doing good. So, let's see. Anyway, all right. Well, let's see if anybody wants to be number 6 on the tail end of the first round. Please come now. Okay. Nothing heard. So, anyway, Ron, I don't know, just listening on what I'm listening on, I thought you sounded neutral between both of them. Both were excellent, but I mean, you could have gone one way or the other, no problem with either signal. I thought they were pretty even here. And Dave, you got a big signal in here this morning. I mean, a big signal. I mean, you're pounding in here. Henry's always pounding in here, no matter what Henry runs. If Henry ran 10 watts, he'd be pounding in here. Oh, my. Yeah, Henry, you got a fantastic signal. Steve, you got a fantastic signal, and so does Bill, for where Bill's at and all. So, everybody's doing good. So, anyway, not a whole lot going on here. Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm trying to decide which Bendix I want to get out, whether it be the RA10 or the receiver or the MN26 F, which is L, which is the one that goes up to 6 meg. I'd like to get one of those hooked up to the setup that I've got here, and everything would be exactly the same as it is. I would just have to disconnect the low frequency Bendix receiver that I've got at the bottom and replace the control up top. Just switch them out, and all the connections are the same. But I gotta open up both of them again and look at them real good. Both of them you could eat off of, inside and outside, but I haven't really looked at anything real good yet. But anyway, that's what I'm thinking about doing. But, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we can get a Bendix thing going sometime here this year sometime. But anyway, we'll keep it going, and we will send it back up to the top to Ron, MU6F. And congratulations on your 630-meter contacts here, Ron. That's a good deal there. MU6F. To take it, K0DWC. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay, see if I got it. There we go. All right, good deal, guys. And a couple of ART-13s after I had the act up, I said, you know what, I better use this more often so the switch contacts don't get messed up. Anyhow, let's see. Bill, yeah, you started out pretty good, then it kind of faded out. Steve, glad the antenna issues were nothing permanent, and you got that back operating again. And Henry, yeah, I'm guessing wintertime, out in the shop, just to work 630 meters, yeah, it's not quite enough motivation. Dave. Sounds like you got a cold like everybody else. But then I know you were in the plane back to Indiana, so you probably got a good collection of germs from all that. And Chuck, sounding good. I don't know what happened. That transmission, you were way up over here. But okay, thanks for the antenna reports. And yeah, consistently, if I switch over to receive, it's much easier copy. The AGC doesn't have to do much. But on 40 meters, it consistently is better for the really long DX. It's sometimes the whole S unit better. So it's got its place. It wasn't worth it. It was worth the effort to finally make one. And yeah, 630 meters, the BC-375. What conditions are just all over the place, though. Andy and I would try at 7 p.m. Sometimes great signals. 8 p.m. nothing, and just vice versa. And 10 p.m. Tried 15 minutes later. I'm looking at the SDR over in Utah, and my signals are, 15 dB one way. It's still down to no more. Max is S4, and gosh, I have spent more time on this antenna than any, well, not any antenna, but at least for a wire antenna, a lot of work. But yeah, everything matches just flat perfect. I made my latest great antenna enhancement device was a clamp-on RF ammeter. I got the idea from a YouTube video. One of those clip-on EMI filter kind of, ferrites. And the guy put a winding in there, pickup winding, and then just a typical diode rectifier and meter and a sensitive box. And I got that calibrated. I went ahead and made a little bit different with mine. Used Schottky diodes in it. Went ahead and I had a much smaller ferrite, but I checked it down at 470. It still transformed, so I went ahead and built it, and it's great. I was able to go out into the antenna. I got the SWR flat all the way, and I swept it with Nano VNA, and it's I can't do it. All I can do is put up more wire. That's it. But yeah, I was able to go ahead and play with my grounds and my counterpoises. I found out the counterpoises did not, no matter what I did, still weren't doing quite as good as the ground rod along with the counterpoises. So, but I was able to map every radio and how much current is in each one, and that was pretty interesting. And of course, to see they added up to the antenna current on the other side. So there you go. Anyhow, and then the Whisper transmitter came from Sweden, and that was pretty easy to set up. Ran it overnight. Yeah. So I'm building a 200 watt amp for that Whisper transmitter to put it back up into, take my 1% efficient antenna and make it equal, 5 watts ERP. Well, I'll be lucky to get 1 or 2 watts ERP, but I think that'll be really telling on how well we do. Pretty discouraging though for any contacts. I've never heard anybody, no one on CW, just Andy or myself. That's it. The rest are all Whisper or JT9, and that's it. All right. Well, there's no whispering here unless you have a bad mic. I'll switch mics this next go around, and you'll see what my Whisper mic sounds like that I got over it. I saw a D104 mic element in a junk box at Hammond Hi-Fi the other day, and it wasn't a total waste. It works, but man, it sounds tinnier than bad carbon. Okay, speaking of bad carbon, take it away, W6MQI in U6F.
Oh, man. got me on that one, Ron. And you called it. Yep, I got the crud. I had a family behind me when I was on the airplane. It just sounded just, ugh. Kids were just hacking. And of course, the father had to sit next to me. He actually kicked out the poor girl that was sitting next to me. He whined and complained so much to the stewardess that they finally switched spots, and he wasn't doing too well either. So, yep, I got sick, and I've been dealing with this since last Monday. Luckily, it's on the downhill or uphill, getting better, but I told my wife before we left, I go, because my daughter works at a hospital, and she says just the emergency room and stuff was just inundated with people that were sick. I says, boy, if I don't get sick on this trip, it's going to be a miracle. Yeah, I got sick. Anyway. Well, let's see. Yeah, Ron, is that a whisper transmitter or a standalone unit? I mean, do you need a computer and stuff with it? And that sounds interesting. And yeah, 160 meters, kind of the same way. I never hear anybody on there with having a CW contact. It's all what is that? FT8. Every once in a while, I hear some guys in the phone band, but there's nothing down in the CW section. The only time you hear anything is if there's a contest. What a shame. In fact, even the CW bands, there's not much activity anymore, it seems like. Although I don't really get on that much anymore. I don't know, you kind of get tired of the same old format after a while. Hopefully you find somebody who's willing to chat for a while, but it seems to be far and few between. What else? I've been working on, Steve knows about this, I've been working on my PRC 174 clone, I guess you call it. I've been drawing up a CAD drawing of the PRC 174 that I can fit it's by QRP Labs, a little all mode, well, not quite all mode yet, mainly CW right now, transceiver 160 through 10 meters, be about 5 watts. I'm going to run mine on 9 volts, but I'm going to put this inside this PR174 look-alike cabinet, and hopefully it all works. But anyway, I been drawing it up. I got the front face pretty much done. I'm going to print it out all in plastic first, make sure everything works, and then just for the heck of it, I sent the faceplate drawing over to PCBWay. Yeah, what the heck, see how much it would cost to have it CNC milled out of aluminum. And what was it, $106, something like that? So it wasn't too bad. So if I can get this thing working, depending on the cost, I might have it all made out of custom CNC aluminum, and have myself a nice little radio. But anyway, that's kind of what I'm doing here. The old RAO5 receiver, I had to give up on that for a while. Never did figure out why I had AC on the negative bias line. I eliminated everything in the receiver, and it was still there. I can't figure out where it was coming from. It's the weirdest thing. Anyway, I had to put that on the shelf. Other than that, not much else going on here. Yeah, I think that's about it. So, WA7YBS, W6MQI.
Okay, Dave, W6MQI, WA7YBS. All right, good copy on all. One thing on that RAO5, that's Wells Gardner. And of course, they were, second contractor for the RAO receivers, National being the primary. And their documentation, sometimes there's mistakes in there. Well, there's mistakes in all documentation, but some of the Wells Gardner stuff is, kind of like sort of serious errors that got by. Of course, it was World War II, and they were a secondary contractor and things like that. But there's one thing to, kind of question the schematic. You never know. And when dealing with Wells Gardner, and compare it to the National, like a National RAO2, or even better, it'd probably be the RAO6. The RAO6, the first 200 RAO6s are a lot like the RAO2s. They got an S meter and all that stuff. After serial number 200, they're more like RAO7s. No S meter and set up for pan adapters. But the RAO2 should be pretty close to the what the RAO5 should be. So you never know with Wells Gardner. And let's see. Well, speaking of that, the National and World War II and all of that sort of catacomb receiver deal, my RBL5, which is the old TRF, no, it isn't a TRF, that's a regenerative receiver. Regenerative receiver, long-wave receiver that National made during World War II. I had that thing for 20 years, and I never had a shock mount. And I noticed that Ethan had something that was for an RBL5 tag on it and everything. So a little trip over there to Hammond Hi-Fi, and we were able to get that shock mount. And the ratty conditioned kilowatt matchbox that he had, and that turned out to be a good one. It was just dirty. That's always nice. The shock mount, perfect fit, no problems. And, the funny thing is those shock mounts are different. An RAO shock mount is a little deeper, maybe an inch or so deeper than the RBL shock mount, so they're not interchangeable. And let's see, what else? Why did I get another kilowatt matchbox? The test will come in the next week or two, and that was to go out to the shop, and the shop antenna is an inverted V, 130 foot, fed with 44 feet of open feed line, and I was going to one of those non-vacuum tuners, and I've always had kind of weird. It seems like there's a lot of losses in that tuner, which is usually the balun. That trifilar long balun is blamed for it most of the time for your losses. The losses are so apparent in that tuner, in that Nye Viking tuner, that you can actually tell on receive if you do an A-B comparison. And it's about an S unit difference on receive, so you can imagine that's going to be about 6 dB, what your power loss is going to be when you're transmitting. And so I always was getting kind of less than what I expected reports for the W6MIT Big Rig and the T368. So anyway, I now have a kilowatt matchbox out in the shop to match that antenna. I just have to brave the cold one of these days and actually put it through the test and see that it does improve the signal from the station out there, stations T368 and the Big Rig, W6MIT Big Rig. So that's what's been going on here. Turned over to Steve, W6SSV, WA7YBS.
Okay, thank you, Henry. Hey, congratulations on finding a cabinet for the world, or not cabinet, but you have one of those for, I don't know, footballs sitting under the lathe right now, covered up. The only problem with it is I never had a cabinet. I never got it with it. It works great. Nice rig, so I keep it. and keep scouring the swap meets for a trashed RBL I can use a cabinet off of, but that hasn't happened, of course. And let's see, Ron, very good on 630 meters. That's really cool that you're making at least a contact with it. And also nice about Whisper. Whisper is one of the coolest tools available to DXers these days. Really nice. Every once in a while I'll go on there and just see what the activity is. And sometimes it's pretty impressive on all things. Anyway, pretty neat. And Dave, yeah, your PRC 174 project is well. You did a fantastic job on the rendering of the front panel. If that works out, and hope maybe other people will be interested in that too once you get it going. We'll see how that goes. Not much going on now the past few weeks. Like I told everybody a while ago, I kind of blew through my winter projects a little faster than intended, so finished up the last two CV591As, which are sideband converters that are used with the R390s and 390As. They work fine. Not really much to those to get them going, and luckily they had both of them had the correct crystals, so that was nice for 455K CIF. The only other thing on the bench now is a TH39A, which is an AFSK tier for teletype and fax. So, and it's full of crystals too. I was able to download the manual for it, and pretty neat thing. I'm trying to decide whether it's worth the effort to go through and recap it. Don't really have much of a use for it, but maybe sometime in the future, who knows. Anyway, that's about it from here. Like I say, not a whole lot going on, so we'll send it down to Bill. And 6BCT, 6 SSP.
Anyway, I was like, remind everybody that I talked to W6MIC, W6M, Grand Pagoda, on the telephone, and I got so practice. So everybody wanted to have a phone number, so if you want to contact, I'll do it to you. So there you go. So here, I haven't got that yet. There is that. That makes it squared away on this thing here. I did get the SDR receiver working this time, which is nice to be able to do. Anyway, so that's the story here. Anyway, that's the, I'm not going to take one. Anyway, that's the story.
Okay, Bill. 100% copy that time. Well, I'm glad you got the SDR where you want it, and back up and going, and doggone, see in a moment. John, tell John, never. Okay, let's see. Stand by. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, Bill, tell W6MIT we said hello when you talked to him today. Calm down. It's not 2 o'clock. But tell him we hope he's doing fine. You know. So anyway, you were a good copy that time, Bill. I had to switch to the R388 from the ARR7 because of the JSON frequency activity, but You were 100% copy on that. So, anyway. All right. Well, let me make a call. See if there's anybody out there who wants to be number 6 for the tail end of the second round. Come now. Okay, nothing heard. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and start the 7-3 round. So with that, we'll send it back up to Ron, NU6F in the group, K0 DWC. 7-3 round, fellas. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay, good deal there, Chuck. Well, Bill, I lost completely from, there's a sideband station down at 3970, and he is really close to me. I could not copy Chuck even until I went up in frequency. I think Chuck, unless Chuck may be a little bit high, I had to go up in frequency and go to 4kc bandwidth and to copy. But this guy's just, I'll tune down later if he's there and see. He's got to be really local to me. But anyhow, tighten up the bandwidth and move frequency, and everybody's back. And Steve, okay, on the TH39A AFSK keyer, yeah, I'm sitting there thinking, I think you're getting down to the bottom of the pile. I mean, that couldn't have been a real high priority project. But for that one to bubble up to the top means you're running out of cool gear to work on. So, yeah, you better hit up the swap meet pretty soon. And, okay, Dave, on the PRC 174, I wonder what it was that got you interested in making the PRC 174 clone of all the radios you could have duplicated, but yeah, maybe just popped in your head. It was about the right size. Yeah, I use the PRC 174 a lot. I've typically been using it on the bug net. Just that it's a convenient location for switching bugs back and forth. Oh yes, and bugs. Oh boy, I popped for the big purchase. I ordered a bug from Begali in early December, and they happened to crank out a line of Intrepids, and so I have a 3-day-old Begali Intrepid Ferrari of the Keys, beautiful piece of craftsmanship. It's, I think of all the other things I could have spent the money on, but what the heck? At our age, I've got more money than I have time left. And Henry, okay, on the other kilowatt matchbox. And yeah, it makes sense. Have one stuck out there in the shop. And the RBL mount, yeah, I remember seeing that before. It's been there for a long time. And even though I've got the RBL 5, I really don't. I don't know. I know everyone else. I don't look for shock mounts. I did see it, and I saw in it. I remember having the tag on it for the RBL 5, but I made the mount over on the Navy shipboard operating position, where I've got the RAK, the RAL, the RBL5, the RA07, and the TDE. It's yeah, it's pretty well laid out. I made like a wooden rollout bases for the RBL and the RAO up on the top shelf, and so. I just wasn't motivated, but yeah, I saw it was there. So, well, that was a good deal, and they'll only be harder to find in the future. Let's see. Oh, I know. I did one more thing here. I turned the antenna 90 degrees, and I thought I would be putting you guys in a null, but here, okay, here's the loop, and now this, or I take it back, this is the loop, and it's at 90 degrees to Dave, and supposedly it should be more in line with Henry and Chuck. But yeah, I'm seeing about the same on receive. I see 10 to 20 microamps difference, and then back over to the long wire. But yeah, the other D104 mic that I got, it sounds so. I thought, well, it's not dead. It's got really high output, but gosh, it's really, really tinny sounding. All right, stand by if you can take it. I'm going to try it. Okay, this is the D104 that sounds more like a carbon mic, but the price was right. All right, guys. Good hearing everyone in there, and I'm not sure where Mike is this morning, and I guess I'll find out the rest of the story later. Thanks, Chuck, for writing her, and we'll catch you guys later. W6MQI,
NU6F. W6MQI. Well, that D104 sounds like two tin cans with string between them. Yeah, different. I wouldn't use it as my main mic. And your long wire was 20 over here. The loop, you went clear down to S9, sometimes lower with a lot of QSB. So long wire is working better right now. And yeah, I picked the 174, just pulled it out of the hat, kind of liked it, the size and everything kind of fit what I needed. So that was the only reason. I actually went back and forth on a few others, but the 174 was what I ended up with. And yeah, those 9 Viking matchboxes, I'm assuming that's that big one with the 2 large knobs, and it's got some white push buttons along the bottom. From experience with those things, kind of like the Drake, what was it, the MN4? I was never impressed with that one either. I don't know what it is. We had one at the station at work, and I didn't care for it. But anyway, yeah, that Viking, Johnson Viking matchbox, those are nice. Those are really nice. But anyway, I think that's about it here for me. And I will continue on. So anyway, over to Henry, WA. Oh, and I've got my RAA5 bass as well, since we're talking about that. I did get that with my receiver when I bought it from Tom, who I haven't heard on the air in a long time. I guess he's on the schedule that Andy puts out, the skit, which I haven't been able to attend due to other obligations one of these days. But anyway, 73 everybody. I'll quit rambling on here. Over to Henry, WA7YBS, W6MQI.
Okay, Dave, W6MQI, WA7YBS. Yeah, that Andy's schedule at 6 o'clock is kind of like not a convenient time. He should have it about 5. 5 o'clock would be a lot better. But it's his get-together, so that's his prerogative. Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing that RL5 had the shock mount on it, and they are defined. You know, I got the one for my 3, the shock mount, and of course they didn't come together. You know, in fact, I got that shock mount from Mr. T, and but it is an RAO3 shock mount, so you know it was a gotta have. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and say 73, and everybody have a good one. And I guess Carl will be in that control next week. So with that, 73, and over to Steve, W6SSP, Ron. Exactly the same here. 20 microamp difference between the loop and the long wire with favoring the long wire. So yeah, it was the same as the earlier test. W6SSP, WA7YBS. Go ahead there, Steve.
Okay, thank you, Henry. And congratulations on getting a kilowatt matchboxes. Those are pretty cool. I've always been a big fan of Johnson stuff. I've got a couple of the 275 watt matchboxes, and boy, they're just beautifully built. Anyway, let's see, Ron, you were much better on the long wire, and the second microphone you used, the audio was very pinched. At least I thought it was. Now, conditions have degraded quite a bit, so others might chime in. You might have been stronger with them, but the second microphone definitely sounds more pinched to me. I don't know if that's a technical term or not. Anyway. Oh, other things here. About a week ago, like I said, I've been kind of bored here lately. New projects to work on, so started thinking about doing another regenerative receiver, which I really don't need to do, and pulled out my favorite one and was playing around with that for a couple of days and decided, I don't really need to do another one, so I put it away and I've been playing with different radios instead since then. So, guys, 73, good conditions, started out with excellent conditions, about the best I've heard. Bill, you were solid copy the whole time, and as everybody else was, probably the highest signal strength I've ever seen for this net. But it's full. So we'll say 73 and send it over to Bill. N6 BCT, W6 SSP. Well, Bill, I got to say, I heard 99.9% of you all 3 rounds. So, hearty congratulations on that, and conditions between your setup there and the conditions, I think that made that possible. And everybody else was pounding in here, and I think that's the first time I've ever heard every one of Bill's conversations there, pretty much 100%. So hats off to you, Bill. All right, fellas. Well, let's see. Dave, good on the PRC 174. It sounds like you got a real good deal going there with the CAD and all that stuff. That ought to be pretty cool once you get all that stuff done and put together. And Steve, you continue to have a booming signal the whole time here in the Dayton Valley. And, you had a real great signal, as did Bill. Henry was rattling the roof as usual, and Ron was pounding in here with regularity. So anyway, Ron, on that D1, or not the D104, but on that Carlin mic, T7, I think it was a T17. You're a Q5 copy, but like Steve said, it sounded pinched. It sounded constricted. I'll put it to you that way. But I could understand you, and I heard everything you said. So, take that for what it's worth. But that's okay. It came through, and you know what? It's the ultimate communications grade, and you know how it is in the military. Can you hear me? Yes, I can. So, good deal on that, though. So anyway, I'm stand by just a minute. Okay, well, I got one more check-in here that I want to give to you, and here she is.
W4DBQ here. Sorry, guys, but Henry, I was wondering if I could talk to you later today. I found something I'm interested in. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's a Morse key. It's a Electric Bureau, Oslo, Norway, but it's very rare, and the guy is asking $250 for it, and I need to ask you a question about it. W4DBQ clear and 73 guys. It was a one and done. Thank you.
Okay, so I got Carla on the docket here, number 6. So, okay, guys. Yeah, I hope everybody had a happy New Year, and I hope everybody has a safe year this year. So, anyway, I will shut the net down for today, and I'm going to thank everybody for their support. Invite everybody back next week. As Henry stated, Carla will be net control next weekend. And we'll talk to you fellas then. So with that, we'll turn the frequency back over to regular use, and y'all take it easy. Henry, we'll give you a call here later, and go from there. So take care, guys. 7-3s, and thank you for being there. Your support is always appreciated for sure. 7-3, gentlemen. K0 BWC, Dayton, Nevada, off and clear.